This is a national alert. Right now, across the UK, pensioners are waking up to find their benefit payments missing. No warning, no explanation, and in many cases, no idea what went wrong. But we do. And today, we're going to explain it to you because it could happen to you, to your parents, to someone you care about, unless you act now. The Department for Work and Pensions has just implemented a set of new rules quietly, without fanfare, without publicity, that are already cutting off vital financial support for older citizens. If you're receiving pension credit, housing benefit, or any other means tested support owning, co-owning, inheriting, or simply being named on a second property, could now disqualify you. Even if that property is unsellable, even if it's earning no income, even if you didn't know it mattered. This isn't speculation. It's already happening. Welcome to Pensioners Power, your trusted source for everything you need to know about pensions, retirement planning, and financial wellness. Here, we cover the latest news, expert insights, and essential updates to help you maximize your retirement years. Whether it's understanding pension schemes, making the most of your savings, or staying informed about financial changes, you're in the right place. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Now, let's jump right into today's topic. For decades, the rules around pension credit and housing benefit remained relatively stable. If you owned your primary residence and lived modestly, the government generally left your benefits untouched. But behind the scenes, a fundamental re-evaluation of property ownership and asset value has been quietly underway. And now, as of mid-2025, the new regulations have started hitting pensioners where it hurts, their weekly payments. This isn't just another line in the DWP rulebook. It's a wholesale change in how your financial situation is assessed. Now, if your name appears on any property deed, even one that's vacant, derelict, abroad, or shared with relatives, you may be deemed ineligible for support. And the scariest part? Many pensioners are finding out too late. Let's take a moment to bring this home. Real people, real lives. Maureen, 78, from Blackpool, has lived on pension credit for nearly a decade. She inherited a small holiday chalet in Wales when her sister passed away in 2022. She never rented it. She never visited it. In fact, it was falling apart. In June 2025, her pension credit stopped. No warning, no letter, just stopped. She called the DWP and was told her claim was being reassessed. 2 weeks later, she received a letter saying her claim was no longer valid due to undisclosed assets, namely, that crumbling chalet. No income, no profit, but her name was on the deed. Alan and Joyce, both 81, from Kent, co-own a property abroad with family in Cyprus. It's a shared inheritance from Joyce's father. The property is unoccupied, but because Joyce's name appears on the title, their housing benefit is now under review. They've received a request from the DWP demanding valuation reports, foreign legal documents, and even potential rental income estimations for a property they haven't touched in 25 years. They're now considering selling family jewelry to hire a solicitor. So what exactly changed? Under the updated DWP regulations on capital assets and property ownership, the following are now considered when assessing your eligibility for benefits like pension credit, housing benefit, and council tax support. Second properties, regardless of location. Inherited or gifted properties, even if shared with others. Property that is not generating income. Vacant homes, regardless of condition. Foreign properties or land. Joint ownership, regardless of your personal use. Even if you can't sell the property, and even if you can't access any income from it, it can still be counted against your support entitlement. And here's the most frightening part. There is no requirement for the DWP to notify you in advance before stopping or suspending your payments. Let that sink in. You didn't see it in the papers. You didn't hear about it on the news. No official announcement was made to every pensioner. Why? Because this rollout wasn't meant to make headlines. Instead, it's been a silent recalibration of internal policy, pushed through under the radar, driven by a combination of cost-saving measures, digital data sharing, and new property linking tools now used by government departments. New DWP systems are cross-referencing pensioner records with Land Registry, overseas property databases, and even historical trust documents. If your name is anywhere in there, you're flagged. Most pensioners assume, if I'm not making money off a property, surely it can't hurt my benefits, right? Wrong. The DWP doesn't care if the property is profitable. It doesn't care if it's abroad. It doesn't care if you inherited it and didn't even want it. And it certainly doesn't care if it's falling apart and unsellable. All that matters under the new rules is that your name is on the title. And if the estimated value of your assets, including property, exceeds certain thresholds, typically £10,000 to £16,000, depending on the benefit, you're now classed as ineligible. And this doesn't just impact individuals. Couples are being caught in the crossfire. If your partner owns a second property or shares one with family, even if you had nothing to do with it, it could affect your benefits too. That's because DWP looks at household assets, not just individual ownership. So if your spouse inherited land from an uncle in Ireland or shares a dilapidated home in Scotland with 3 siblings, your household may still be flagged. Many families have pulled together to help younger relatives get on the property ladder. That joint mortgage you signed to help a grandchild, that now counts. The damage isn't just financial. This change has triggered waves of stress, fear, and confusion among the elderly, many of whom are already struggling with complex forms, health conditions, and a cost of living crisis. Pensioners are now hiring solicitors to decipher old deeds, paying surveyors to assess inherited plots of land, begging councils for leniency, losing sleep over fear of fraud investigations, being accused of non-disclosure for things they didn't know were relevant. One widow from Yorkshire said, "I've never broken a rule in my life. I've never hidden a penny. But now they say I've committed benefit fraud because of a cottage my dad left us 40 years ago in Northern Ireland. I don't even know where the deed is." Here's what you must do now to protect yourself and your household. Conduct a full property audit. Write down every property you're linked to, past and present. Include UK and overseas properties, inherited homes, co-owned flats, trusts, or mortgages. Get documentation in order. Gather deeds, letters, trust paperwork, wills, and valuation reports. You'll need evidence if the DWP questions your claim. Speak to your local council. If you receive housing benefit or council tax support, your local authority is your first point of contact. Ask the DWP for a full benefits assessment. Don't wait for your payments to vanish. Request an updated review now so you can correct issues before they escalate. Keep a record of every conversation. Take names, dates, times. Save letters and emails. If your case is challenged, this trail matters. Know your rights. You can appeal. If your benefit is stopped unfairly, you can request a mandatory reconsideration or appeal to a tribunal. Many people win when they present proper evidence. And here's the little-known lifeline that can change everything. You can request a discretionary disregard. If your property is unsellable, inaccessible, or worthless, you can ask your council or the DWP to ignore it from your benefit calculation. To do this, request a discretionary property disregard. Provide evidence the property is uninhabitable, earns no income, or is legally unreachable. Explain your situation in a written statement. Get evaluation from an estate agent or surveyor, if possible. This won't guarantee success, but many councils have the power to override the strict rule in exceptional cases, and they do exercise this power when pensioners speak up. Thank you for watching Pensioners Power. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next video with more insights on the issues that affect the UK. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest updates.